You think the speed of light is just fast? Wrong. The speed of light isn't a speed at all. It's the speed of existence itself. It's the rate at which cause and effect can propagate through the universe. And when I discovered this, when I realized what this really means, it didn't just change physics. It revealed that reality is far stranger than anyone imagined. I spent years wrestling with this question. Sleepless nights in my study in Princeton, chalk dust covering my hands as I scribbled equations across every blackboard. My colleagues thought I was obsessed. Perhaps I was, but obsession sometimes leads to truth, and the truth about light speed shattered everything I thought I knew about the cosmos. Let me take you on that journey of discovery. Close your eyes and imagine you're riding on a beam of light. What would you see? What would you experience? This simple thought experiment, this childlike wonder about riding alongside light, led me to the most profound revelation in physics. Most people think there's some cosmic speed limit, some arbitrary rule that says 299,790,458 meters per second and no faster. Like the universe has traffic laws imposed by some cosmic authority. But that's not what's happening. The speed of light isn't a limitation imposed on things by external forces. It's the speed at which space-time itself operates. It's the fundamental conversion rate between space and time. And once you understand this, really understand it, you'll see why nothing can go faster, and why even trying would destroy causality itself. But first, let me tell you about the night this understanding crashed into my consciousness like a freight train. I was pacing in my office, surrounded by the sweet smell of pipe tobacco and the scratching of my pen against paper. The equations were beautiful, elegant, but they led to conclusions that seemed impossible. Time could slow down, space could contract. These weren't just mathematical curiosities. They were physical realities. I kept returning to that image, riding alongside a beam of light. If you could somehow catch up to light, what would you experience? The answer, when it finally came to me, was more shocking than anything I had anticipated. You wouldn't just see the universe differently. You would see it stop, completely, frozen in an eternal moment. And that's when I understood. Light exists outside of time itself. I remember the exact moment this clicked for me. I was thinking about simultaneity, not just as an abstract concept, but as a fundamental question about the nature of reality itself. I had been corresponding with Lorentz about his transformations, puzzling over Michelson and Morley's null result, when suddenly the pieces fell into place with such clarity that it took my breath away. What does it mean for two events to happen at the same time? Seems simple, doesn't it? You and I both look at our clocks. They read the same time. Two events, simultaneous. But then I realized something that shook me to my core. There is no universal now. There is no moment that exists everywhere in the universe simultaneously. Time itself is relative. The very concept of simultaneity depends on your state of motion. I spent weeks verifying this conclusion, checking and rechecking my mathematics. The implications were staggering. If simultaneity is relative, then the entire structure of causality, the foundation of logical thought itself, needed to be reconsidered. Picture this scenario and really visualize it. Because your intuition needs to be shattered to make room for truth, you're standing on a train platform. Your friend is on a train moving away from you at enormous speed, let's say half the speed of light. You both have perfectly synchronized atomic clocks. At exactly noon by your clocks, you both flash a light. From your perspective on the platform, both lights flash simultaneously. Same moment, same time. But here's what will destroy everything you think you know about time. From the perspective of someone moving even faster, say in a spaceship traveling at 90% light speed, your light flashed first. From yet another perspective, moving in the opposite direction, your friend's light flashed first. Same events, different orders, same reality, different timelines. This isn't about perception. This isn't about light taking time to reach different observers. The events themselves happen in different orders for different observers moving at different speeds. The universe doesn't have a universal timeline. Reality itself is fragmented into countless individual reference frames, all equally valid, all disagreeing about the fundamental question of when things happen. Do you feel your worldview cracking? Good. That's the sound of truth breaking through comfortable illusions. But why? Why does the universe work this way? The answer lies in the most beautiful insight I ever had. Space and time aren't separate things. They're woven together into a single four-dimensional fabric called spacetime. Movement through space means rotation through spacetime, trading time motion for space motion, changing your angle through the dimensions of existence itself. This realization came to me like a bolt of lightning during a stormy night in Berlin. I was staring at the rain-streaked window when it hit me. We think of space and time as separate because our senses experience them differently, but they're unified at the deepest level. They're different aspects of the same geometric reality. Think of it this way, and this analogy will change how you see motion forever. You're always moving through space-time at exactly the speed of light. Always. There's no exception to this rule. Right now, as you sit still reading this, you're racing through time at maximum velocity. Every second that passes, you advance 1 second into the future. That's motion through time at light speed. But here's the crucial insight. When you start moving through space, you have to divert some of that motion away from time. It's like you have a fixed budget of motion through space-time, and it's always exactly light speed. You can spend it all on time, sitting still, or you can divide it between space and time, moving. But the total is always the same. Move faster through space, you automatically move slower through time. This isn't some strange effect that happens at high speeds. This is the fundamental structure of reality. You can't add space velocity and time velocity and get something faster than light. The total vector through four-dimensional space-time is always exactly light speed. This is why time dilation occurs. It's not a side effect. It's the direct consequence of the geometric structure of spacetime itself. When astronauts orbit Earth at high speeds, they're tilting their path through spacetime, trading time motion for space motion. Time literally passes more slowly for them. Their clocks don't just appear to run slow, they actually run slow relative to clocks on Earth. But what if you could go faster? What if you could somehow exceed the speed of light through space? This question haunted me for months. I would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, following the mathematical implications wherever they led. To exceed light speed through space, you'd need more than 100% of your space-time motion allocated to spatial movement. You'd need negative motion through time. You'd be moving backwards in time. And that's where the entire logical structure of the universe begins to collapse like a house of cards. Let me walk you through this carefully, because the implications are staggering. Imagine you develop some hypothetical technology that allows you to send a signal faster than light. You're in New York. Your friend is in London. At exactly noon Eastern Time, you send them a faster-than-light message. From your reference frame in New York, you send it at noon, and it arrives in London at 11:59 a.m. local time. It arrives before you sent it. But wait, it gets worse. From the reference frame of someone traveling at high speed relative to Earth, say an alien observer moving at 90% light speed, due to the relativity of simultaneity I described earlier, that signal doesn't just arrive a minute early, it arrives hours early, or days early, depending on the relative motion. Now here's where it becomes truly nightmarish. With the right combination of reference frames and faster-than-light signals, you could send a message to yourself in the past. Information traveling backwards in time. Think about what this means for the nature of reality itself. You could receive a message from your future self warning you about an event before it happens. Armed with this knowledge, you could prevent the event from occurring. But if the event doesn't happen, your future self would have no reason to send a warning. So the warning message contradicts its own existence. The cause of the message depends on the effect, which depends on the cause, which depends on the effect, in an endless logical loop that makes no sense. This is the grandfather paradox writ large across the cosmos, not just for time travel, but for any information transmission faster than light. It doesn't just break physics, it breaks logic itself. It makes the concept of causality meaningless. This is why nothing can go faster than light. Not because of some physical barrier that could theoretically be overcome, not because objects become infinitely massive, or engines aren't powerful enough. Faster than light travel is equivalent to time travel into the past. And time travel into the past creates logical contradictions that tear apart causality itself. The mathematics are unforgiving. As you approach light speed, the energy required to accelerate further grows exponentially. At 99.9% light speed, you would need more energy than exists in observable galaxies to gain even a tiny fraction more speed. But the real barrier isn't energetic, it's logical. The universe is structured to prevent logical contradictions. Let me share a thought experiment that kept me awake for weeks. Imagine two events. A star explodes in a distant galaxy, and you receive a faster-than-light signal from that star just before it exploded. From your reference frame, you receive the signal after the explosion, but from another observer's reference frame moving at high speed, the signal arrives before the explosion that supposedly caused it. Effects preceding their causes. The future influencing the past. Temporal order becoming meaningless. But here's where it gets even stranger. Light itself doesn't experience time. From a photon's perspective, it's emitted and absorbed in the same instant. No journey, no duration. A photon leaving Andromeda travels for 2.5 million years from our perspective, but from the photon's reference frame, the journey is instantaneous. Photons exist at the boundary between space and time, completely escaped from the flow of time. They're messengers carrying information from past events to future moments, but existing themselves in an eternal now that transcends temporal sequence. This reveals something profound. Every piece of information in the universe travels at light speed or slower. This isn't coincidence. Information is the medium through which causality operates. The speed limit allows the universe to have coherent causal structure, to distinguish between cause and effect, past and future. I often wonder what the universe looks like from light's perspective. All events throughout space and time laid out simultaneously. The birth and death of stars. The entire history and future of the cosmos compressed into one eternal moment. The universe not as events unfolding through time, but as a complete four-dimensional structure existing all at once. This is the most beautiful and terrifying insight of relativity. Time is not a universal river flowing at the same rate everywhere. It's a dimension that can stretch and compress, and the speed of light is the conversion factor between temporal and spatial dimensions. The practical implications are staggering. GPS satellites must account for relativistic effects. Particle accelerators routinely observe time dilation at 99.9% light speed. Atomic clocks on airplanes show measurable time differences. The universe operates according to relativistic principles from quantum to cosmic scales. But beyond applications lies something more profound. The speed of light represents the fundamental structure of reality itself. It's not just a physical constant. It's an organizing principle determining how space and time relate, how cause and effect operate, how information flows through the universe. When I first understood this, I felt exhilaration and terror. Exhilaration because the universe revealed itself to be far more elegant than imagined. Terror because many basic assumptions about reality were fundamentally wrong. Space and time aren't just a stage on which physics plays out. They're part of the play itself. They bend and stretch and curve in response to matter and energy. They're dynamic, responsive, alive in ways that defy everyday intuitions. At the center of it all is this one constant, this fundamental rate governing how quickly reality can change, how fast information can travel, how rapidly cause can become effect. It's the heartbeat of the universe, the rhythm to which all physics dances. So when you see light, whether sunlight streaming through your window, the glow of your screen, or starlight on a clear night, remember that you're witnessing something far more profound than electromagnetic radiation. You're seeing the fundamental speed of existence itself, the rate at which the universe computes its next moment, the speed at which reality unfolds from possibility into actuality. The speed of light is the speed of time, the speed of causality, the speed of logic itself. Nothing can go faster than light, because to do so would be to move faster than the universe can think, faster than logic can operate, faster than reality itself can maintain its coherent structure. In the end, this speed limit isn't about light at all. It's about the preservation of meaning in a universe that could otherwise dissolve into logical chaos. It's the foundation upon which all of physics, all of science, all of rational thought ultimately rests. And perhaps most remarkably, we figured this out. We humans, with our brief lives and limited senses, discovered the deepest structure of space-time itself. We learned that space and time are unified, that causality has a speed, that the universe has built-in logical consistency. This fills me with wonder every single day. The same universe that created us also gave us minds capable of understanding its deepest mysteries. We have the universe becoming aware of itself, contemplating its own structure, marveling at its own elegant design. The speed of light represents something beautiful beyond words, the cosmic principle that keeps reality sane, logical, and comprehensible. And we discovered it by asking simple questions about riding alongside light beams. And this reveals something profound about the structure of reality that keeps me awake at night with wonder. The speed of light isn't the speed of light at all. It's the speed of causality. It's the maximum rate at which cause can produce effect. It's the speed at which information can travel. It's the speed at which now propagates through the universe from one event to another. Every fundamental force in nature respects this cosmic speed limit with mathematical precision. Gravity doesn't act instantly. It propagates at light speed. If our sun suddenly vanished this very moment, Earth would continue its orbital dance for 8 more minutes, the exact time it takes gravitational changes to travel the 93 million miles between us. Electromagnetic forces propagate at light speed. Change an electric field here on Earth, and the effect ripples outward through space at exactly 299,795 meters per second, not a fraction faster. The speed isn't arbitrary. It's not some random number the universe happened to choose. It's built into the fundamental geometry of space-time itself. It's the relationship between the spatial dimensions and the temporal dimension, written into the very fabric of existence. In the mathematics of relativity, distance and time are connected by exactly this conversion factor. But here's something that will shatter your assumptions about the universe. Why is the speed of light exactly 299,57258 meters per second? Why not faster? Why not slower? Here's the shocking truth that took me years to fully appreciate. The number doesn't matter. The meter is an arbitrary human construction. The second is an arbitrary slice of time we invented. What matters is the ratio, the fundamental conversion rate between space and time. We could measure distances in light seconds instead of meters, and suddenly the speed of light would be exactly one light second per second. We could define our time units so that light travels 1 unit of distance per unit of time, and the speed of causality would be 1 in these natural units. The actual number 299,79248 is just a consequence of our arbitrary human measurement systems. What's truly fundamental is the structure of space-time itself. The fact that there exists a maximum rate of cause and effect, the fact that space and time are unified into a single geometric entity, the fact that motion through space necessarily involves a trade-off with motion through time, the fact that simultaneity is relative to your state of motion, the fact that the universe has no universal now that applies everywhere at once. This is what I discovered when I imagined riding alongside a light beam all those years ago. Not just that time dilates at high speeds, though that's remarkable enough, but that space and time are unified in ways that make faster than light travel equivalent to backwards time travel. That the speed of light is really the speed of time itself, the rate at which temporal moments unfold and causality propagates. This speed limit isn't a constraint placed on the universe by some external authority. It's what makes the universe possible in the first place. Without this limit, without this fundamental structure, cause and effect could operate backwards. Messages could arrive before they were sent. Effects could precede their causes. The very concept of a coherent logical timeline would collapse into meaningless chaos. The speed of light is the speed at which reality maintains its sanity. It's the cosmic constant that keeps the universe logically consistent. It's not a barrier preventing us from going faster. It's the foundation that makes faster and slower and before and after meaningful concepts in the first place. So when you see sunlight streaming through your window on a beautiful morning, remember, you're not just seeing photons that travel 93 million miles through space. You're witnessing the fundamental speed of existence itself, the rate at which the universe computes reality from moment to moment, the speed at which cause becomes effect, the speed at which time itself unfolds across the cosmos. Nothing can go faster than light, because light speed is the speed of time, and time is the dimension in which causality operates, in which logic functions, in which the universe maintains its coherent structure. Exceed that speed, and you don't just break the laws of physics, you break the laws of logic itself, unraveling the very fabric of rational existence. The universe is more strange and beautiful than we ever dared imagine, and at its heart lies this simple, profound truth. The speed of light is the speed of reality itself.